Welcome to episode 156 of the Reptile Gumbo podcast. This one's going to be a little different. We didn't have a set guest, and today we were like, hey, let's just open call to guest.
Yeah.
So we have a couple of guests planned, and then I think a little bit later I'm going to post the link live on the Facebook page, and if anybody listening wants to join in and has anything they want to talk about, you can click the link and join in and have a talk with us. So Katie will be here shortly. She is, again, doing mom stuff. One of us has to be a parent. And let's face it, it's probably not going to be me. So she'll be here shortly. But let's go ahead and get sponsor stuff out of the way. If you're looking for a high-quality PVC rack or cage, wait no longer. There's some other words in there that Katie would normally say, but just go to lsreptileracks.com and talk to Robert and get you a rack or a cage or a sign or a hide or anything else that can be made out of PVC and cut down into whatever shape you want. So check out Robert. He's right there.
You got a bunch of acrylic stuff coming out.
Yeah, I forgot to mention acrylic. You had a good show this weekend. You sold a lot of cages and acrylic and I'm assuming hides, maybe. I don't know what else you took with you, but you had a good show this weekend.
Yeah, it was a pretty good show. That was the busiest. Well, our first guest, we can talk about it.
Yeah,
in a second. No, this is the busiest I've ever seen a Corpus Christi show.
It's awesome.
You can tell the billboards. I asked everybody. I haven't even told him that yet. I asked everybody, did you see any of the billboards? Oh, man, I saw them all over town.
Well, and then Sean was also on the news.
And then I walked out of my hotel and realized that one of the billboards is in the parking lot of my hotel. I walked out and all I saw was purple and green. And I was like, oh, hey, there's, yeah.
Well, that was kind of like
right across the street from where Brian Lovins works.
Well, that was kind of like Conroe. Conroe was iffy on sales for some people, but it was a busy show. And a lot of folks said they saw the billboards. So that's awesome. So check out that. Speaking of herps, we'll bring that up in a minute because our guest, if anybody wants to try and take a guess, is related to that. Also check out our friends over at Wiregrass Exotics if you're in South Alabama for all of your reptile needs. I also just want to give another shout out to Focus Cube because I still love this sign. It's one of my favorite things I own, and it's amazing. And they've been working their asses off and having a lot going on. I've been watching their Facebooks, just been filling up my Facebook feed.
Mm-hmm.
They work way more than I do. That's I mean, I'm not complaining, but man, they are always working. So
it helps when you don't have kids.
True.
Not that I think those two would still.
Yeah. Child labor.
They
just strap a kid on her back and just go.
I could see Ashley with a kid on her back, fucking assembling cages.
Assembling cages and then going fishing. Kids still strapped on her
Absolutely.
back. She's like, he says old pictures of like Native Americans from like 300 years ago, just the baby strapped in like a wild.
I mean, I can see Ashley like basket in labor. Like, can we hurry this fuck up?
I got shit to do. I got shit to build. And this baby's taking too long.
Yep.
While y'all clean that up, I'll come back and get it later.
Yeah.
Oh man, they'll love the howdies. So yeah, I think that's and then also VivTech. Love VivTech. If you need a UVB LED bulb, check out VivTech and use code GUMBO22 to save 15%. And again, thank you to all of our customers over this last year that have been using that code. That's the reason I'm going to be able to buy Robert some new headphones for the show. His headphones are starting to go. Also, I'm going to try not to cough on the air a ton tonight. It's going to happen, though, because I can't stop coughing. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and bring in our guest. And let's start off this cluster of episode and see where it goes from here. Our first guest is Sean Gray of Herb's Reptile Shows. How's it going, Sean?
What's up, guys?
Oh, so yeah, we're talking about Corpus. And Robert was telling me how busy it was, and I saw the pictures of it. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was by far probably one of our largest attended events there for sure.
Yeah.
Sunday was, dude, I can't even explain Sunday. Usually it's like island time there. Everybody kind of starts late.
Yeah.
1 o'clock before it kicks off. By 11 o'clock, it was packed. It was crazy.
That's the first time I've ever seen a line on Saturday morning at a
Sunday.
show.
Yeah, it was.
I was at Conroe this year. Conroe was busy right away on Sunday morning.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
maybe we're just trying to pick back up for shows.
I hope so. We did see some, increase in spending this weekend. So
it is that tax time.
It is. So we'll see how the next few shows go.
Good. Well, and that show's kind of like the show coming up. It's the Corpus Christi show, but because of Corpus Christi, it's not in Corpus Christi.
Yeah, it's in Robstown. Yeah.
Robstown, because Corpus Christi has dumb laws.
Yes.
You can't own
pretty much no constrictors.
Yeah, you can't own anything fun.
Yeah.
Or iguanas.
I believe monitors are on there too.
Yeah.
Because Sea Life Center gets a ton of those.
I love the Sea Life Center.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about it. Katie's not here. That's the most. I think Katie was more emotional at the Sea Life Center than she was the day we got married.
Really?
Oh man,
They took Bo out there Saturday night.
Oh really?
Was it Friday or Saturday night? Saturday
after the show.
His birthday was Sunday. For y'all that don't, everybody that doesn't know, you'll probably heard us talk about Bo. He's Andy's son, and his birthday was Sunday. Turned 7. Sean took him up in the bleachers and sang "Happy Birthday" to him.
He's only 7.
Yeah, kid's huge.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, well, he's so much more mature than most 7-year-olds.
Especially when he's flipping you off, telling you "fuck you."
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we took Katie, like the moment she stepped over like the edge of the tub and saw a sea turtle like a foot away from her, she like teared up and almost lost it. I was like,
when y'all got back and Logan was like, Katie cried over those turtles. I was like,
I did not expect it, but it was an amazing experience. And I've said to anybody, if you're ever in the Corpus Christi area, go by to support them because they work their butts off there. Every time we have bad weather, they have a whole other batch of turtles coming in that they have to keep alive and then release. And it's a lot of work. It's not a huge crew. It's not a huge complex. And it's almost doing it out of the kindness of their hearts because they don't have huge funding coming into that either.
No, it's basically Amanda and volunteers. Like we were out there Monday, we stopped by and her mom and dad were out like cleaning the hedges and stuff. Amanda's parents. So they rely on donations and they have a lot of volunteers but Tim's also an exotic vet, so he's not there as much to help out with that stuff. He's usually doing his normal job too. So any little bit helps those guys a lot.
Yeah, it's such a cool place. And like you said, they get all those animals that, because you're not allowed to have anything in Corpus, they do have a bunch of what we would normally think of as regular pets, but Corpus doesn't let you have anything. So but yeah, so go check them out. But the next show coming up is a new show, and it's very similar. It's the Baton Rouge show, but in reality, it's in Gonzales.
Yeah.
But it's a established reptile show area for another reptile show.
Yeah, we've been at that show for a couple of years.
I've been at it before, back when it was better.
Crap. Yeah.
I mean, it was as good as that show could have been, and then when it went downhill, it went
crashed
downhill.
hard. Yeah.
But I am excited to see herps there because that's a good area. You're there between New Orleans and Baton Rouge, and it's a huge area. So everyone this weekend, go check out in Gonzales outside of Baton Rouge the herp show there. It's going to be a great one. Plus that venue is big. It's a big venue. Parking will not be a problem. It's got a lot of parking.
Oh
yeah. So that'll be great.
Sean, that's what I asked him on Sunday. I was like, how is load out there? And he goes, from what he remembers, it's got bay doors that go right. You get right up to the bay doors and go right in.
Yeah.
Because at the last New Orleans show, when they moved us to that other part of the venue, that was brutal because it was like a long fucking way to get in there.
And depending on where you're at the show in Baton Rouge, you could be right there next to a bay door.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good location. So Lizard Morse asked, why don't you change the names to the match location? Because sometimes it's hard for people to understand where that location is.
Yeah, exactly right. So like we get people that travel from all over, like say Louisiana or Texas, but nobody knows where Robstown, Texas is. Nobody knows nobody from Texas that's coming to the Baton Rouge show or from Mississippi knows where Gonzales, Louisiana is. Right. And we actually looked in Baton Rouge. The only venue that we could find there that was even close enough to the size was the Kane Center, and they want Ticketmaster to run it. And again, like with Corpus, you can't actually in Corpus. There's a really nice convention center there, but the laws inside the Corpus city limits prohibit you from owning half the stuff we have at the show. So it's more along the lines like the Austin show is the Greater Austin show. It's in Leander, but nobody knows where Leander, Texas is. If you're not from that area in Texas, you don't know. So it kind of gives more people a geographical area of where the show location is, instead. The address on the website and the maps and everything have the right address, but that's the reasoning.
Yeah, there's some other shows that are really off when you get to it. There's, we talked about them earlier, but there's one where it's like the Memphis show in Tennessee, but it's not even in the state of Tennessee.
It's in South Haven, Mississippi. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's right across the border in South Haven.
It's not even in the same state. I'm like, come on, at least be in the same state.
Wow.
So that one always got me. But yeah, some of them are just tricky. Like you said, they don't know the places. But that's going to be a good one. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Let me go through the other herp shows coming up real quick because I know Sean doesn't know them.
I do know a few of them. I know a few of them.
After that, you should know it's a home show for you. Is the Bryan College Station show,
Yep.
March 11th and 12th. Again, looking forward to that. We're going to be there set up doing recordings. I'm excited. I'm going to try and get our buddy. Oh my God, names have been so hard lately in my head. I'm really worried about Alzheimer's. Blake, Jesus Christ, I'm trying to get Blake for an interview for that one. But my parents are going to be in town for that, so I'm looking forward to that. They've never been to a herp show. That's going to be fun.
We have a cool Airbnb booked for that one.
Yeah, we have a nice Airbnb for all of us. It's going to be great. My dad actually told me to tell you, I'm going to give you his number. He may get in town early on Friday, and he can help you set up because I'll still be working. I won't be there. But they're riding in on a motorcycle. They're taking his motorcycle from Alabama to Texas. So we'll see how my mom does on her first long motorcycle trip. That should be interesting. But Bryan College Station show March 11th, 12th. Then out to Waco, March 25th and 26th. Then back to Louisiana, April 1st and 2nd for Slidell, which is always a good show. I love that location. I like Joe's Italian. I could go for some Joe's Italian.
Mm-hmm.
You pretty much go for Joe's Italian in almost any location. Like
Conroe.
Yeah. There's another one. There's another one somewhere too.
Leander has a Joe's Italian.
Yeah, it's.
So
you go to a herp show. Just
none of them are affiliated.
None of them.
They're not affiliated with each other. It's just a popular name.
There's a lot of Joe's Italians.
And then in Longview, we have the Tuscan Pig Italian. That's like the one we go to over there.
So Slidell, April 1st and 2nd. Austin, Texas, April 22nd and 23rd. That's a new location from the last time?
No, still in Leander.
Still in Leander.
Yep.
So is it still, I'm trying to remember. I know at one point, is it that the location where it's the volleyball place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's the big sports center.
Okay. And then what?
It's called the Pack.
The Pack.
Yeah. Right?
PAC.
Yeah. PAC. Yeah.
Which is funny because on the campus of my high school, we have a Pack, which is the Performing Arts Center. And then off to our home show, May 6th and 7th, back to Pearland. I'm looking forward to that. A second show here to see how that goes because the first one did really well.
Yeah.
So that's going to be good. And then back to Lake Charles.
Yeah, that's where we're excited about that one.
June 3rd and 4th. That was my first herp show.
Oh, really?
Lake Charles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And one of those is the show where I became a criminal and sold a carpet python.
Oh, yeah. So Lee Reddy says, "What's up, y'all?" And Corey Martin just said, "Hi, Sean."
Hey, Lee. Hey, Corey.
Corey is leaving for Peru tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what
She's
she
just like
posted.
following Blake around everywhere, I think.
I'm telling you, I just need it recorded. I need the two of them. It's going to make the best show ever. It's like
He's
the Odd
already
Couple.
there.
Yeah, he's been there like.
Is he really?
Week. Yeah.
Yeah, he's already caught. You haven't seen his anaconda he caught?
No, I missed
And
it.
then somebody posted a picture and they were like 10 sec. He's like holding this green anaconda, not a huge one, but pretty big. And like 10 seconds later, it's trying to bite him in the face. And he's like holding it out here. And it's a blurry picture of it coming at his face.
It's like the Odd Couple, but traveling the world doing reptile stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It would make great content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had Corey on last week talking about that. I just never would have imagined if anybody, I'm like, yeah, Corey will go visit these places, but I never would have been like with Blake. It's not the way to go on. So hopefully we can talk to Blake when he comes back about his travels around the world, because over the last several months they've been very interesting. If anybody follows Blake Wilson online, if you don't, it's worth a follow, especially when he had his bot fly.
R.I.P. Bartholomew.
Mm-hmm.
And then go back to real quick. Last show, the Conroe show, is June 10th and 11th, which I think will be pretty big. That's during summer and all. I think that'll be a pretty big one.
Yep.
So those are the upcoming herp shows. All right. So Sean, how's it been going? How's the shop going?
Shop's doing good. Got a little more headway made on the expansion. Speaking of, we were talking about Tim and Amanda at the Sea Life Center. Tim's buddy in Florida has a juvenile female caiman lizard that they're donating to me, I think.
What?
To put into that big pond. So
That's...
I got to work on that. Because I've been looking for a Weberite, a big self-in. But that came out of the blue. So I think that's what I'm going to do. But
big old snail eaters.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's getting there. I think over the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna really hammer it hard after Baton Rouge, to try to get everything organized and hopefully at least have some people that can come by and check it out when we have the Bryan show. So that's going good. We got 5 employees now, 5 staff. Everybody's
wow.
doing a great job. So staying busy. Shop's been really busy. Sales have been really good. I've got a long list that Kaylin sent me today of animals I need to get. I just got some really cool rough scale Samboas from Jimmy Ivory. He had
sweet.
4 captive bred babies. So I bought those from him this weekend.
I love rough scale Samboas.
They're awesome. They're beautiful.
That's gonna be awesome. I've always wanted a caiman lizard. I've said it before in here. It's one of the trickiest reptiles to set up properly.
That's why you don't see adults and shit for sale. And we talked about that. I talked to having Tim Tristan and like Cord Offerman and those guys that I can lean on that are vets and Dr. Rob Koch and San Antonio Zoo. I always thought they were really cool and they're kind of a bucket list for me, but I wanted to make sure they were set up. Because if you go like to Moody Gardens in Galveston, they have that big male in there and it's like the setup's bigger than my house, so maybe a little overkill, but still not, it's not too far off of what they actually need, so that I think with that pond that we have and the big setup that we're going to build, we'll be able to give it a nice, long, healthy life and be a cool animal for display for sure.
Yeah, there's I haven't been there in years, but the Nashville Zoo always had an amazing exhibit because it was a giant wall of aquarium up to chest high, and then land behind it and trees coming over, and then they were sectioned off in a section, but with huge Amazonian fish, and then one huge section probably 10 foot long, and then probably 10, 15 foot deep, and then another 10 foot tall was half water, and then caiman lizards over this like big thing of Amazonian fish hanging out on the branch. I'm like,
where's that at?
Nashville. And I almost got a job there, so I was walking around the back and I thought it was cool, and then I didn't get the job and I was very sad, but but it's such a cool setup for those guys. Yeah, I've seen them sold at shows before, and when I see them sold, I'm just like, that's probably not gonna make it, because it's not an option. You can't be like, I'll just give it a big water bowl.
No,
like that's not how they live. So and unfortunately, they're not something that's like super hard to get, because I've seen them and you can get them.
Yeah, they come in from time to time and they're usually little and they're all, of course they're all imports, but they usually don't last for more than a few months.
But man, a full grown one sitting on a branch over the water with lights and plants behind them. It's amazing. Probably the only other thing comparable to it is, like you said earlier, a sailfin, a big, pretty male sailfin doing the same thing.
Yep.
So that's going to be great. You've got the cave going.
Yeah, we need to finish the ceiling out in there, but yeah, it's pretty much done. That's where the actual pond that the caiman lizard's going to go, is in the big cave, and I still have to build it out. But when I find time to do that, I guess I will. I still need to build a pen out here for Grant at the house, so there's lots of stuff to do. But the other side, Robert delivered those big enclosures for the tortoises. I'm going to move
tortoise coffins.
Yeah, the big tortoise coffins. I'm actually going to move my other 2 redfoots over next week from the house here, and set them up in there too. So it's pretty much everything's kind of staged where it's going to go. We just need to find the time to actually put it in its place and get everything done.
You really kind of lucked into a pretty good setup there, building wise. With that, I think that cooler that you're using as a storage room now is the cave. That's really cool transition from one room to the other, and then the other shop next door opening up at kind of just the right time. So I really like the location there.
Yeah, we did get lucky with it. I mean, we kind of knew too when we took over that lease. That was going to become available next door. We didn't know it was going to become available so quickly, but we knew it was going to be an option for us. We knew that they hadn't renewed their lease, so it was, and luckily enough, the guys next door, we're really cool with them, so they let us go take a look at it before they were even out of there. So we kind of got some ideas ahead of time of what we were going to do with the space, but it's still evolving, But we're pretty
quickly outgrew the original space.
Very quickly. I have more animals in my back room between my quarantine rooms and my grow racks and stuff than I do on my floor right now. So once those guys get out of quarantine, it's time to get them out there,
When it didn't leave your other location, well, it's not other location, the same location, but the original room basically didn't leave room for display cages. And for a shop like yours, that's really what you need is those cool big display animals that people really can't buy, like a caiman lizard, a huge display caiman lizard, or some of your big tortoises that people are going to be able to see now.
Yeah.
So that's going to be great. I'm looking forward to
It'll be
that.
good.
What else you got going on herps wise? Just shows.
Yeah, we're leaving for Baton Rouge Thursday. Ready to kick ass at that show, and then we have the home show back. So in Bryan, again, we've gotten a lot of on the ground marketing done for that show. There's not a place to put billboards up here. They're not available as far as like what we do in other places. So having the shop is kind of an advantage to us to get some local marketing going constantly. We're doing some news interviews with Rusty Surrett at KBTX here. Hopefully we get a little more coverage than we're used to, since it is a home show. He comes into the trinket quite a bit. So working those angles and just trying to get the people in the door.
Well, we've talked about before, I think you do one of the things that really impresses me about that show is the fact that you closed the shop down, because we know a lot of folks in this business that would try to do whatever they could to make as much money as possible in as many avenues as they could. And as a good show promoter, knowing that, the show is there for you to make money, but it's also there for the vendors to make money, you shut down the shop so that none of those sales get lost to the shop, and that they go to the vendors. And I think
we send everybody to the shop or to the show that weekend. Plus, it's fun for my employees. My employees love what they do. My staff are into animals. They're into reptiles. They want to go to the show and interact. And you'll see them walking around the show, buying stuff there themselves or dragging me over to say, hey, we need this for the shop and we need that, especially Kaylin. We need
just tell that 12-year-old girl to shut up.
Yeah, no, she's been amazing. I mean, it also pushes people to go to the show because they can't come to the shop. So we'll close down Friday, and Saturday and Sunday will be closed all day at the pet store. And hopefully everybody will come to the show.
I'm looking forward to it. It's also the beginning of spring break, and I know neither one of y'all understand that, but I'm tired of kids. I'm so tired of kids.
Yeah.
I need a week away from other people's children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got someone else just talking to themselves in the green room. We should probably bring him in. I feel bad. He looks kind of like
for a while. He's fine.
Okay, we can leave him there for a little bit longer. So, animal-wise, since you can see a lot of stuff, what's the coolest thing you've seen at shows lately? Coolest animal you've seen? You're like, oh man, I don't really see those at shows that often or anymore.
Oh man, God, I've seen so much stuff. The African file snakes are pretty cool. Seeing some big adults. I've seen a few of those here and there.
Yeah, Rick had a couple, I think, this weekend.
Yeah, Rick had a couple this weekend that were just amazing. They were beautiful. God, there's really not a whole lot that I haven't seen recently. I mean, I'd love to see, I'd love to see I'd love to see someone really work on Australian frills and, I've seen some really cool geckos lately. But yeah, it's been, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of jaded in that aspect because I get to see so much,
Yeah.
But I saw some really stunning corn snakes this weekend, some salmon snows and stuff that were really cool. But you walk through a show and you see, I'm usually running around trying to fix shit. But you used to not see Aldabras and stuff like that. Now you're seeing Aldabras and you're seeing a few other things here and there pop up. Pete had some really nice of his, his star babies there. His star tort babies were there.
They did. I didn't even want to look at them.
Yeah, they were really nice.
Rob Roy had some. That was Rob Roy, right? Was there this weekend?
Rob Roy and Eric Timaeus.
Yeah, he had a couple of wild caught Florida corn snakes that were just gorgeous, just normal corn snakes that were beautiful.
Yeah.
Is it Pete that has the Gilas? Who's it that brings Gilas?
Jerry
Salmon.
Jerry Salmon. He had them last time, but someone bought both of those. I wanted those so bad. Those were killer Gilas.
It's some bright orange babies at one point. I was like,
yeah. And Pete's got a lot of projects on the back burner that nobody knows about. He's got those crazy orange and blue Uromastics and his Ackies, his red Ackies that he's bogarting from everyone. And then when David Elgin's there, he's got the Colotes and the Beauty of Knowles, which we have a pair of the Beauty of Knowles at the shop. Lots of people look at those, but they're like, I don't know about that price. But
yeah. But I mean, come on here. Yeah, if anybody's wanting to get into what I think is going to be one of the next big lizards, look up Eclectic Reptile and look at the Knowles that he works with. I think they're going to be big.
Yeah, ours at the shop are starting to get their coloring in. They're looking awesome. So we're excited about that too. Probably we'll end up getting some Colotes. I've got a really cool. I mean, it's one of the most. I mean, cool underrated species. But the my Australian water dragon. I mean, you guys have seen him at the shop. He's amazing, but you just don't see those, around like that. Again, one of those things that you have to have a lot of water for, and he's got like a 20-gallon tank in the bottom of it, just as enclosure.
Those are the brown ones, right?
He's red and black.
Red and black. We had awesome. The zoo I interned at had. Before I'd interned there, I'd only ever seen the green water dragons. But they had not the Chinese water dragons. Sorry. Yeah. They had some of the Australian water dragons. I was like, man, that's a cool looking lizard. You just don't see them anywhere.
Yeah, we've got a really cool male at the shop. But he gets a lot of attention. But it's one of those things where if someone's just thinking, oh, that's a cool lizard, we're kind of dissuading them unless they know what they're doing.
Yeah. So I was gonna say our Canadian friend, I use that loosely because they're Canadian. C Anal Side Exotics said, do you get many thefts at shows, or is it pretty good your way?
They happen from time to time. I mean, we've had them happen. We've caught people, actually. We had people arrested at Conroe before for being caught. But yeah, they do happen. But they happen at every show. I mean, I've had attempted thefts of my own stuff when I was vending with the whole deli cup trick, but yeah, especially when big crowds like that. I didn't hear anything happen this weekend. That doesn't mean that it didn't.
You had a vendor who thought a whole display got stolen.
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, he was unpacking and got too busy and set a cage with some geckos out behind his vehicle and left it. Thought he was done. And so we pulled it inside, and the next day he came in freaking out, thinking somebody stole it off of his table.
Sean happened to be standing there talking to me at my booth, and he walked up and was like, Sean, somebody stole a whole display off my. Yeah, and before he goes, did it have leopard geckos in it? And Sean goes, yeah. He goes, come on, you left it in the parking lot. Poor guy was like,
he was so red.
He was so upset with
someone I know.
Yeah.
Okay. So we talked about it last episode or the episode before. I mean, our friend the Reddies had one of their chameleons stolen at the NARBC show just right out of the cage.
And
there actually might be an update on that. I know that Lee's in the chat. I don't know if he wants to say anything or if he followed up on it.
We'll see. We'll give him time.
And then
Tie-Dye Exotics had the really expensive centipede stolen.
Someone else had a really expensive invert stolen that weekend. I've had one rack stolen. I've talked about it on here, but it was just a bait and switch thing. But I've had numerous, at least 4 or 5 in the last year. People wait till like the 59th day after the show and then file a chargeback for what they bought at the show. Yeah. So, and I've won all but 2 of those. 2 of those I just lost. They just, but I guess that's the cost of doing business. Unfortunately, there's some shitheads out there.
Well, like I said, Sean and I at the Conroe show sat down with a vendor who felt very confident that they would never get stolen from, and basically told him, look, I don't care how much you think it's not going to happen. It'll totally fucking happen to you because they're better at stealing from you than you are at catching them. And again, that whole mentality of I hope someone would is the wrong mentality. The mentality should be I'm going to stop someone ahead of time.
Yeah.
And so again, it's you don't have to spend a ton on a setup for a show to have a fancy table, but you do need to take some precautions and at least pay attention because they're really good, especially the old deli cup trip we've talked about before. They're really good at that one, and they don't work alone on those.
Nope.
So Lee Ray said we have a good lead, just trying to figure out and confirm some info. Well, I hope that the animal is still alive and that you get it back.
It is alive. It actually is in the if it's the right one, it's in the hands of an actual keeper that it got resold to through proper channels, but I was helping Lee out with that today, actually. So I hadn't heard back if he had gotten any info, but the person who it was sold to, who resold it, is helping. So
just there's not a lot of high quality panther chameleon gecko.
Well, no, that was
panther chameleon.
That was a
breeders.
Sambava. I think Lee's the only one in the United States with that size Sambavas anyway, you know?
Yeah.
So it makes it easy when you find it to know that one's his.
Lee's like, yeah, I didn't sell it to you. So, yep, that's
yeah.
So, but like going back to canal side exotics, it feels weird saying it that way. Theft, unfortunately, is something that's going to happen no matter where you're at. But a well-run show happens less, I think, than others. But that doesn't say that shows where it happens are not well-run. It also is on the vendor to just, you got to be aware. Some vendors just, they get complacent, they get comfortable, or they just get busy.
Yeah, get busy.
And it happens.
Well, there's a reason that we put cameras up in our stores and we put cameras up in our homes. And
unfortunately, people suck.
We lay things out so that that it prevents theft. I used to do loss prevention years ago for a now company that doesn't exist, Foley's, which was a large department store.
Yeah.
And we had professional thieves that would come in every day. We would deal with different professional thieves, and they're good.
Yeah.
They're really, really, really good. So there's the same that steal reptiles.
I mean, there's a reason we have locks on all our enclosures at shows. There's a reason that people, I'm not a fan of the netting. There are many other things you can do than the netting. I think the netting does look bad, does look cheap, and but people throw the net over it so it's not easy to take. But you can put, angled windows or whatever at the front of your table that they can't reach over to get stuff. There's a lot of stuff you can do. So when you go to a show, if you're planning on vending a show, walk around, look at the other tables, look at the other setups, and get an idea of go, okay, I can do this, I can do that. You don't have to spend an arm and a leg to do it right.
Yeah.
Well,
and it also goes back to, even when we're busy, is just keep an eye on your fellow vendor. If you see something sketchy,
that's why you should talk to other vendors.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that I don't get that. They don't go around and talk to other vendors. I mean, there's vendors that have been doing this, longer than we have, that don't know anybody else in the room, which just surprises the hell out of me. You should be able to know and trust the people around you.
Yeah,
bring him in.
Poor
bastard. I forgot
I didn't forget he's there. I keep seeing him in the corner. All right, so I'm going to bring in another one of our guests. So we've had him on here before. Our friend Max Hicks. How's it going, Max?
I'm doing well.
What's up, Maxwell?
I'm like the Ricky Gervais of the show. Y'all just keep bringing me back.
You're not that funny.
Yeah.
But Sean, when I'm in College Station, I'm gonna help you out with lighting. You are blue.
He's blue.
Ask him how much you fucking
now
care,
I'm blue.
Max.
That better? That better?
Yeah.
I don't have Max money to go do a professional studio setup and shit. I got
it's OPM. So speaking of eclectic reptiles, the reason I have this camera is because I bought David's old camera and then he updated his. And I just looked at a couple bird photos I'd done, and my options were limited because it would front focus a little bit on the nose rather than the eye, and I was like, "That's a $4,000."
If they can see me in here, I don't care if I'm blurry. I'm ugly as fuck anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm using a laptop camera. I don't even have a camera set up in here. So,
neither do I. I'm this room's in disarray right now because everything's changing. There's no consistency here on my end, but.
So you brought up David again. I just want to go back to the show thing. When I say you don't have to spend a ton on a setup, there is the opposite end of that spectrum where I think David, he has spent a lot. But when you see it and you walk up to his setup, you're like, yeah. But you don't have to do that.
Every time I see his setup, it's better and better. And I mean, he was the one with the soft light first, and now he's got the big. It just looks better every time.
So David actually, whenever we were doing for the sponsorship, he sent me out a branding booklet of how the logo should look on everything. So he's done a really good job, and he's doing that on purpose. He's building a name and a brand for himself, and he's doing a great job at it. That's just marketing on his part. But But yeah, he's very serious about that, and there's a lot of people that should look at that and say that's something they aspire to do. Again, within budget, yeah, we get it, we understand that, but making your setup look professional and clean draws people to your to your table. You're gonna sell more animals like that.
Again, you don't. I think another problem is people go up and they see something like David's setup and they go, "Oh, I got to do that now." No, you don't.
No,
you don't. You're not selling $2,000 lizards to somebody. Like, his weekend pays for his entire setup. He's going to use all year. He's good. You're selling some pastel ball pythons that other people. Stay in your lane, and you can get there. Don't kill yourself by spending a ton of money right away and then realize, oh no, I have no money left because I spent all the money right away.
Just get one thing at a time. Just get
a tablecloth
or a tablecloth or lights or just a little bit at a time.
And that's another thing. Like I said, walk around, talk to other keepers. You'll find out a lot of us like the 5 lights because I love those 5 lights. They're not expensive and they give you a professional look on your table. A simple black tablecloth, but you can get like a sublimated tablecloth for not that expensive with your logo on it. If you have a logo, that's fine. Or just a simple black tablecloth off of Amazon.
Dude, a queen sheet fits an 8-foot table.
See?
I would argue that what's more important than the table is a person behind it. I don't care how nice the setup is. If the person's behind it like this, not only are they not going to get more customers, but they're also 100%. More likely to get stolen from.
Yep, 100%.
So
they're ready to iron your tablecloth. Yes.
Iron your tablecloth. Carry around a little steamer with us.
What? The Reddies are one that they've started off one way with their setup, and where they're at now is a huge difference. And they grew into their setup. Unfortunately, they realized that it can be stolen out of, which we would not have thought of, and so I'm sure some steps will have to be taken to fix that. But going from what they have to that huge cage setup they have now, which I think is very impressive. But again, that goes to Max. A big important thing about your setup is the person behind the table, and the two of them are two of the best vendors I've seen at a show when it comes to dealing with customers.
Well, and Robert used to be a cop, and he's going to tell you crimes are crimes of opportunity. Like people are looking for victims. In fact, there was a study done where they took criminals and they would have them watch videos of women, and they would be able to tell you, like, which one of those women had been attacked within the past year based off of the way that they walked. And, it's just about, kind of being more alert and aware of your surroundings. And it's just like, if you look like you're present, that's going to, first of all, do you tons of favors.
I worked a capital murder one time, robbery, homicide. And
this is a reptile podcast.
I know, but the guy literally said he
podcast will get more listeners.
The guy said he was walking down the road, saw the lady in her driveway, wasn't looking to rob anybody, wasn't looking to do anything. Saw the lady in her driveway, cleaning out her car. Her purse was sitting on the trunk. She was down in the car, not paying attention. And he said, "Oh, I'm going to go steal that purse." And when he walked up, she confronted him and he ended up stabbing her and killing her.
Jesus.
100% crime of opportunity. It happens. There's some people that may not come to a show with the intention of stealing, but they see something
you make it easy
that
for
they
them.
want, and they're like, "Oh, that's easy. I'm just going to take that."
It's funny because when I first took Brooke to a show, I would put together different things to take photos of people's animals. And I would just run over to Andy's table, give a wave, grab something, and walk over to somebody else's table to set up a little setting to take photos. So I was taking things off of people's table left and right. And,
hey, Max.
It's me.
Hey, Max.
Yeah.
Whenever I come see wherever the hell you live, I'm going to change your microphone setting so you don't sound like you're in a tin can. How about that?
Is that better? Worse?
I mean, it still sounds like you're just in a bigger tin can.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now you're just like
I'm the soggy bottom boys.
The one person who's supposed to have all the professional equipment?
Yeah.
Yeah, is in the middle of moving.
Well, get your shit together, Max.
Come on, Max.
That's the reason I'm moving.
That sounds better.
You're bringing down the quality of this amazing, high-quality podcast.
Are you moving to a house where the bathtub won't freeze when it gets cold outside?
I've already moved out of that. This house has gas backup. No, the whole idea of the move right now is to save up money to buy.
Smart.
The goal is to buy by the end of the year, and I'm cutting back a lot. I'll be taking a couple extra animals to College Station. I got to get my Cayman fostered for 6 months because of where I'm moving. So it's a lot of big changes, but it's also going to help. The move's also going to help throughout the summer because I've got 2 trips. I gave up Zimbabwe. I was supposed to go with Blake and Corey.
It's your fault we don't have that recorded.
Yeah, I would have been the 4th ass in that photo.
No, I'm glad you didn't go in. We're good.
Yeah. But yeah, so I gave that up for Indonesia, and so I'll be going to see Komodo dragons and Solaris dragon snakes, different things. Staying on a houseboat, it's going to be pretty cool.
So now instead of rooting for you to get eaten by a bear, I can root for you to get eaten by a Komodo dragon.
Right.
So on Wikipedia, my favorite sentence on Wikipedia, it says that the Komodo dragon will sometimes, in order to swallow a goat, ram its face against a tree to help force the goat down. And sometimes they hit the tree so hard, they knock it over.
You do look, and you are the size of a goat. So, I mean.
yeah, it's the... But yeah, no, with the travels, it's going to help work out a lot with the kid. Zeppelin will be 1 in June. And so, yeah, it's been fast, and I'm perpetually tired. That's why I have the light position here for the bags under my eyes. So it's he was up basically all night last night because of whatever dust storm that was that blew through, and of course everyone's nose kind of closed up here, but yeah. So I'll be doing travels, but that's gonna help work out a lot, help with the kids. But ultimately the goal is 100% own something, because it's expensive. Everything's expensive right now. So.
Yes, life is expensive.
Yeah, I got my 1099 this year, and I was like, where did all of that go? So,
yeah.
But in reference to people who try and move too fast, my favorite thing in the world is OPM, other people's money. So
I need some other people's money.
Well, that's why we all get sponsors, right? So
wait, sponsors are supposed to pay you?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, something like that, or free stuff. So I've got.
That's true.
I'm in the middle of doing a herping truck video, setting up for spring. How it started, I kind of just looked at my tires and I was like, oh, well, I guess I need new tires. Well, what if I got all terrains and I lifted just a little bit? Okay, well, what about lights? And so now it's turning into a whole truck because I've only seen 2 other videos on it, and that is Camp Kennan, who put.
Yeah, he did a good one.
Yeah, that's out of reach for most people, though. So I'm like, okay.
I mean, he drove that thing out to like Arizona or New Mexico or something for them to work on it.
Oh yeah, 100%. And it's a taco. It's a fantastic truck. Don't get me wrong. But as far as reasonable people who are looking for a couple modifications for a herping vehicle, just a couple things to keep in mind. And then Miguel did one too, but his was more. He definitely used his, but his was a Ford Raptor, and it was an Iron Man truck, and that was. He definitely used it because I talked to him about it, but it was definitely kind of a Gucci truck too. So it's not quite a mall crawler, but it was shiny.
You don't need a big truck. You're a little guy. You're good.
Oh, me? No, I just need to haul people, haul things.
We can just get you one of those little Tonka trucks.
Tonka trucks. I actually went to a monster truck jam. I'll get more into this, but I've been using AI a lot.
Please don't get more into it. Can we talk about animals and not trucks? Hi, Katie.
Well, I've been using AI on getting sponsors and different things. I've been writing proposals using ChatGPT, and that helps me focus more on doing.
So you haven't been writing proposals. The computer's been writing proposals.
Exactly. I'll tweak them to make sure it works.
So the computer's
been
getting
3 monster
sponsors.
truck tickets, which I went like this, acting like I was driving them. A little dumb video, but
I love that stuff though. It's been great.
Yeah. And then
I've loved watching it all.
On my latest video, I did AI voices. So I did David Attenborough.
Is that okay, I saw the beginning of that, the David Attenborough voice.
Yeah. So that's a complete AI. And then I did Joe Rogan. And I got involved in that because I saw the Joe Rogan like mail enhancements scam where he's like talking about it, but it's not actually him. And I was like, wow, that sucks.
So what I'm gathering is that Max as a creator does not create anything anymore.
His computer
He's
does it
AI.
for him.
The computer just does it all for him, and Max takes the credit.
Sounds like a win to me, man.
I hope you get eaten
Work
by that damn lizard.
smarter, not harder.
I hope I'm rooting for the lizard.
Oh, me too. Because then I don't have student loans, so you know.
Be like Betty White from Lake Placid. I'm rooting for the game.
What? And that's my Cayman's name is Betty White.
Nice.
Which did I ever tell y'all how I got that Cayman?
No, but I'm sure you will.
Oh yeah, well, it was from a meth dealer's drug bust, and they thought.
Were you there getting meth and then just decided to grab the thing?
Well, Parks and Wildlife contacted Mario and Brandy because they thought it was an American alligator. They show up and they go, "Well, it's not, but we'll take it." And then I found it at a College Station show, and they just didn't want it to go to somebody who asked. Who kept asking, "Oh, is it nice?" No, it's not nice.
No, it's not at the Cayman. What the fuck are you expecting?
Yeah.
It's gonna eat your fucking face.
Yeah,
No doubt.
It's like when folks ask about
like,
tokays. Is it a nice tokay? No, that's not why you get tokays.
Hey guys, real quick, I gotta run. I gotta go pick up something from Lori's shop. Hi, Katie. Love you
Hi.
guys. Matt, shut the fuck up. Jesus Christ.
I'm in the worst place to stop talking.
Just play with
We
you.
will
love you
see
guys.
you in a week.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, man. Love you.
Later, guys. Love you too.
Wow, his comment blew me away
I bet it did. Wait, what?
because he was blue.
God, you're dumb. I love you, Max. I love you, Max. I am going to make a post. I'm throwing this out there. I am going to make a post on our Facebook right now. Anybody that wants to join the feed tonight,
Come on.
go click the link and you'll join our green room, and I'll slowly bring you in, and you can make fun of Max in person as well.
Yeah, this isn't in person, but
It's in person-ish.
Sorry, I was late.
This is COVID in person.
I was being a responsible parent.
So I need to watch your new video, Max. I started watching it and then I got on here and didn't have time to finish it. But I saw you went to California.
yeah. There was a lot. I wanted to stick to the storyline in that video. There was a lot I did that I didn't include. Of course, I went to Mike's place, and he has Sean's favorite book, The Snakes of Ireland.
Oh yeah.
And but he is my favorite person to talk to about elephant trunk snakes, because
What a weird fucking snake.
Oh, but he's so meticulous about it because you have to have, perfect filters, perfect, pH, yeah, I mean, he has it down to a science.
It's a flaccid penis in snake form.
Okay.
I've held one once at a Conroe show. And I'm like,
A flaccid penis?
yeah, and an elephant trunk snake. It was a fun show. But I held an elephant trunk snake at a show once, and it just it doesn't look right.
It looks like a seal that got turned into a snake.
It's definitely not something that's supposed to be out of the water. It's like when everybody sees, like, everybody's vision of a blobfish is the wrong, like, that's not what that fish looks like. Everybody sees a blobfish and they go, that's a weird looking fish. That's because it's dead now. It is now been crushed by the pressure and it's now dead. Underneath the water, it looks like a normal fish.
It's kind of like a disfigured ball python. Oh, it's so cute. It's not supposed to look like that.
But it's got a cleft lip. Yeah. Yep. It does. You're right. It does. Oh. So.
But yeah, I mean, California was cool. I mean, I obviously am from Texas, so I had my biases going in, and I tried to leave those at the door.
No, that's right.
California was either really cool or really trashy. But it's got 3 million people, so I mean, the amount of graffiti that was there, it's like they don't focus on stopping graffiti.
Well, any place that doesn't have sweet tea is not worth visiting.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I learned a lot about food there too, because they call it Popeye's Texas chicken there, rather than just Popeye's chicken. And then
Popeye's is not
Louisiana?
Texas; it's Louisiana.
Oh, let's see, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Church's Texas chicken.
Okay, I don't know about that one.
And then, what was the other thing? Oh, they don't have kolaches. Kolaches are a Czech Texas thing.
Yeah.
Oh, 100% Texas thing.
Yeah, and I went to a donut shop and I was like, "Can I get a kolache?" And they were like, "What?" I was like, "Am I the one that's wrong here?" No,
Yeah.
you're definitely wrong.
We went out there for a bowl game in college, and we all went out to eat, and people were like, "Can we get sweet tea?" We don't have sweet tea, but we have sugar on the table. Nope. Nope, not the same thing. Go away.
Have you done chemistry?
You do not mix it in after it's cold. Get out of here.
Right. At that point, you get sweetener. That helps, but it's not the same, but it's better than unsweet.
California. Although Texas is becoming California. So,
I mean,
they're just all moving here.
Okay. Y'all can do whatever you want. Just stay quiet. Don't tell mommy I said that. Love you. Yes, you can get a snack.
But can they really?
When Joe was big enough to start moving around on her own, we took all of her snacks and put them on the bottom shelf so they were within her reach of the stuff that I was okay if like she ate the whole box of. So she learned how to forage for her own snacks and food. It was beautiful.
With Waverly, we have put locks on the pantry that she has pried off. She will climb the pantry like
oh wow,
like she is a mastermind. I mean, she constantly.
Joe was never a climber.
No,
she never climbed on stuff.
Yeah, no. Waverly's going to either end up a great leader or in prison. Like there's no in between for this one. Like, and so that's up to me to kind of point her in the right direction, I guess. But yeah, I mean they're great. Like kids are so different from like each other.
Yes, because that's how people work, Max.
Yeah, but it's
people are different.
I'm trying to find how quickly their personalities develop. I don't know. It's interesting.
Oh, you'll find they can be shitheads really early.
Yeah. So, or like 3, 4, and 5 is my favorite age because that's when like kids say things that are just like, oh, that's adorable. You know. So, and of course, because it just does a process for them. It's like, oh, you remember that snake? Oh yeah, we don't have that snake anymore. Yeah, because it died. You know, it's just
they will definitely tell everyone everything you've said around them. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to repeat that one.
Yeah. That's why I'm stuttering a lot. I'm like, oh, what can I say? Because not only
I had a kid today after recess tell me he had a cramp in his butt, and I was like, I just looked at him. I was like, what? And he was like, it's a little embarrassing, and I was like.
Why'd you say it?
You're telling me about it. So I was like, okay. I said, so what's the plan here? Because they know when they come to me to tell me a problem without a solution is whining, and I don't tolerate that very well. So I need a solution. And he was like, well, I said, okay, well, what were you doing? And he's like, well, we were playing tag and I got scared. I was like,
he clenched his butt too hard.
So in my head, I'm thinking, all right, so you clenched your butt and that's why your muscle is cramping. I said, well, how about this? How about you just rest when you go to specials and we'll see? Cause I'm like, you've music. Or you like, surely you'll just be like chilling and music. Oh no, they were like up running around. So an hour later when I picked him up, he's like, Miss Lewis, it still hurts. I said, well, what did you do in music? Well, I didn't rest. I said, okay. I said, why don't you rest in class? You can sit on the rug. You can sit in your chair, find somewhere comfortable. Just rest for like 20 minutes. I'm thinking, I'm not sending you to the nurse because your butt muscle's cramping. Like, I'm not doing it.
And I'm not rubbing it for you.
So like 20 minutes later, he came up and he was like, hey, you were right. It feels better after I rested. I'm like, I'm glad you feel better. Have a great day.
Y'all ever seen that little... It's on TikTok and stuff, and it's like this little blonde-headed boy. He's probably 3, sitting in the back seat, and you can tell it's like middle of summertime, and he's just red-faced, and his hair's all sweaty, and he says, "I'm sweaty, Mama." He's like got this super like Southern Alabama accent, and sounds like your brother, and kind of looks like your brother too, actually. And she goes, "Oh, you are?" He goes, "Yeah, my butt crack and my balls." And she goes, "Butt crack and balls? Oh my, okay." I'm like, today I was out there
like
working, and I said that exactly how he does out loud, and I was like, "I feel you, little boy," because that's
See, all of y'all stories are of cute little kids. I had a kid today tell me they thought about getting a tattoo of an L on their left hand and an R on their right hand so they could remember left and right.
This kid's fucking built in.
This kid's 14. She's like, that way when I take my driver's test, I'll be able to know. I'm like, you tell me in the next 2 years you still won't know what left and right are? I'm like,
bless her.
She's blonde.
She's got to do the Cha-Cha Slide more.
Mm-hmm.
But no, my best cutest kid story right now is I installed a bidet a couple months ago.
Whoa, okay.
Best thing ever.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna hear about Max's butthole. Come on.
Well, definitely pay the extra $20 to get the hot water installment.
I like the cold water.
But I leave to go to a solar appointment, and then I come back because they were waiting on their wife to get home. So I reconvened for the hour. and the girls had a friend over who used my bathroom rather than the main bathroom. Don't know why. And I turned the corner because I hear them all talking, and this poor girl doesn't know how to turn it off, and she's just panicked, and water spraying from my toilet to the wall, and I just laughed and I turned it off. But the look on her poor face was just priceless because she's never seen one, and I was too scared to ask.
They have a built-in water fountain.
Yeah.
High pressure though. I was cleaning the toilet at the shop last Friday or Thursday before Rachel got there, and so you could turn it to like off or regular or the other, and I normally would turn it off before I clean, but I didn't. It was just on, and then you has another knob that's how you actually adjust the pressure. Turn it on, and I'm cleaning, and I'm standing in front of it, and I guess I hit the thing, and it hit me right in the freaking chin. I'm like, God damn, that hurts.
It's a little bit different from those automatic misters when you're working on Crescent Gecko.
Yeah.
Or the produce at HEB.
Now we're talking about buttholes again. Go figure.
Whatever.
Trying to figure out who Facebook user is. It Dax? I wonder if it's Dax. I don't know.
Probably. I'm looking.
Again, anybody wants to join? Just go over to our Facebook page, click on the link, and you can shoot right into this live video feed and be on the show for a little bit. We can talk about whatever.
Shooting water into butthole.
We can talk about shooting water in buttholes if you want to. It's a great conversation. So just looking at some of the things that were posted over on the discussion, but there's some interesting things in the discussion group this week. Travis Wyman posted this little gecko that actually under a black light is blue, like shines this bright blue. It's a Namib web-footed gecko. Cool little one. Just go look at a picture at. I posted, speaking of David Attenborough, I posted a David Attenborough video of betas building a nest and laying eggs and that whole process, which I think is super cool, even though most people shouldn't own betas because they just want to have two males and watch them puff up because people suck. I also posted a video of chameleon laying eggs. Well, not laying, giving live birth. It was giving live birth. The chameleon eggs thing was a different one. I'll go that too. But this is a chameleon giving live birth. And she's just like, she's walking up this bush, just dropping babies as she goes through the bush.
They don't give live birth, though, do they?
Some do.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, this one definitely does. I watched the baby come out of its booty hole.
That's not where it comes from.
Well, there's only one hole. It has to come from that hole.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize they only had one hole.
How do you not? Cloaca? Only hole.
On chameleons?
On all reptiles and birds.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Now you do.
And dinosaurs.
Learn something every day.
One hole for it all.
Okay.
One ring.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't see who it is. It's not showing up on here for some reason. The last comment it's showing under our Facebook page is when Justin said earlier about the blue beauties being crazy amazing. That was like 100 comments ago.
That's weird.
Whole book face.
Oh, there was a new boa constrictor found in the Amazon. I don't know.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see an actual like picture of it and all, but I'm assuming it's a new subspecies.
Spoiler alert. No, there wasn't. It was just Blake's penis.
I did say it was a micro species.
That's true. The old picture of the sulcata in the bathroom says my little pet turtle's toilet trained, and then it's the pet turtle, it's the tortoise just knocking the damn toilet off the hinges off the floor. It's great.
I see that one every year.
Yeah, when everybody's like, I keep my tortoise inside. Well, you're a fucking idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of fucking idiots, I can't stand going back to also like the beta thing, but someone posted, I found this video on Facebook. I've mentioned before, I can't stand when people anthropomorphize animals in general, but it was a video of like kissing gouramis and like, look at these animals kissing. They're fucking fighting. That's fighting.
Is that it?
It's not kissing, you dummy. That is fighting. But we give it a cute name and we pretend they're kissing. I'm like, no.
Aw, Ukraine and Russia are kissing.
You always see like the tortoise is helping his friend. No, he's the fucker that knocked him over. He's trying to finish it off.
Yeah, he's just trying to finish him.
Leave
Finish him.
And what's funny is, with mating, with rattlesnakes, everyone calls combat mating, but with lizards, you look at it and go, that's combat, and it's like, no, it's also mating.
Yeah, no, they can still rip. Like, that's why again we talk about with blue tongues. The reason I don't want to breed blue tongues is because I don't want to have a leg ripped off while they're trying to have babies.
Yeah.
Ryan Goslow posted an interesting one of the St. Augustine Alligator Farm doing a procedure on a cassowary. Which
I saw that. Oh, that was crazy.
horrifying.
I knew it was asleep and I still had anxiety watching the video.
Horrifying.
I was just
Velociraptor.
waiting for it to like wake up and attack everybody. I just no.
Scene out of Jurassic Park. It just opens its eye, and then
it was gonna be horrible.
they're working on this cassowary, and just one eye opens and blinks, and then it just fucking kills everybody.
Yes.
So did you see the drone footage of the hogs?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he's brought it up to me at least a half a dozen times.
I have not.
You have.
I have not.
You've mentioned it.
I have mentioned it.
at least 3 times.
Once.
No.
You want to go hunting?
I do want to go hunting though.
Oh yeah, no, I was out there and I saw signs. You know, I saw some tracks and rub, and I was like, I'm gonna send my drone up. And sure enough, I mean, and I think I said 30, but I counted 28. But I'm sure there was 2 of the piglets that were just too hard for me to see.
They hadn't popped out yet. They were there.
yeah, no, I mean, but yeah, they nasty stuff. But on the drone, they look like ants. You know,
Yeah.
they just look like ants crawling through the grass.
I want to kill pigs. See, in California, you can't say that because they'll think you're crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know. That's a little political. I was thinking about making a cop joke that, you know, Robert's probably heard that working with criminals, but
Moving on. All right. Katie's favorite video this week was one of how to draw the perfect frog.
It was so funny. It made me laugh.
It had
a
like
lot.
basic frog, and it was just this
It
really
was
simple
so
drawing.
Cute.
And a simple frog, a little more complex, and then a better frog was really good. They got
Then,
the perfect
like,
frog.
this buff.
And you're trying to imagine what they're gonna draw, and it ends up being a frog head on like this big bodybuilder body.
I really thought they were gonna put just like a real frog on the paper, and I really thought that's where the video was going. And then they started drawing this like muscled out Hulk looking frog, and I don't know why, but it was very amusing for me.
My dad said he can pack the AR on the Harley for a trip, and we can go shooting hogs. Yep, let's not. That's probably not what we should do. But Nathan Holcomb also posted, I apparently am better at finding snakes in those pictures of like, where is the snake, than turtles. Because he posted these pictures of like camouflage turtles, and all I saw was nature. I don't see a single turtle. I failed the test.
Is that why you were saying people should post their best camouflage pictures?
No, I have no idea. Did I say that? I don't think I said that.
Did we not have a conversation about how you were going to post a question on the Reptile Gumbo page and ask people to post pictures of their camouflage?
She didn't post it because my phone didn't blow up.
No.
Did I dream this?
It's definitely possible.
Could have sworn.
You slept a lot in the last 24 hours.
It was a fever dream.
I never ran fever. I kept checking.
Well, let me ask you guys a question. Mandalorian next season comes out tomorrow. What reptile-like creatures do you think you'll see on there?
More frog things, I'm sure,
Of course.
because he eats frogs. So there's gonna
Well,
be
he's a carnivore. He can eat.
Who, Grogu?
Grogu.
Yeah, he ate a little spider thing too.
Well, he kept eating the damn frog eggs.
I should have watched it again because it's been like 3 years now.
So Joe has never seen it. And the other day she was like, I think I should watch this. I'm like, do it. And I was already done rewatching first one.
John Feely. John Feely needs to go over to our Facebook page and click the link to join our live feed, and then John Feely can come in and we can talk to John.
Okay. Yeah, he said he was driving right now, but I'm not sure if he made it back.
Okay.
Driving's not important.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've got like 4 episodes left to watch. But then you've got to watch Boba Fett, because Boba Fett is really Mandalorian season 2.5.
Yes.
Like, I was trying-
it's all that's how the mouse gets you. That's, you know.
Well, Joe was like, "Oh, I only have like 3 episodes left, and then I can start the new season." And my mom and I both at the same time were like, "No, you have to watch Boba Fett." She's like, "Why do I have to watch Boba Fett?" My mom was like, "Because the last 4 episodes will explain everything that's about to happen in Mandalorian."
All right, so we've now talked about what's his name multiple times. We talked about This Is Us at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was just us before we got online.
Last of Us.
Yeah.
Last of Us, not This Is Us. That's a different show.
Yeah.
I was
Last
going to
of
say,
Us.
"This Is Us" is the.
The
Yeah, we were
different show.
talking with Sean about that before.
And so now we're talking about him here.
So I've got a guy here in town. He makes professional Chewbacca and Mandalorian masks and helmets and
That's
like
cool.
armor. And to celebrate that, I'm doing a photo shoot. Like what? I don't know what reptile. That's why I asked. Is I'm trying to take
It'll
an
be
animal
lizard.
over there.
Lizard
And-
something.
Yeah. And so I was thinking just taking my monitor with him dressed as Chewbacca and him dressed as Mandalorian and do like a photo shoot with that. So I've just got to. We've got that scheduled for this week to kind of line up with the release of the Mandalorian. So, but I mean, his Chewbacca masks are like $2,000 because, you know, it's
Jeez.
yeah. But
It's okay that mine's not Movie quality. What's that from? Step Brothers.
The Ready said they'll join if they can finish these fecal floats. That sounds like a horrible time. Just looking for worms and poop.
That's like right up there with anal leakage.
We're dying. Did you see the picture of the leucistic red-tailed hawk posted
I did.
in our group? That was crazy.
Where was that?
It was in our group. Someone posted a picture of a leucistic red-tailed hawk. Let's see if I can figure out where it's at. In Georgia.
Georgia. Oh, that's a far drive.
But I mean, solid white, full-grown adult hawk, which was kind of neat. Oh yeah, I posted the one from Animal Planet.
Oh, yeah.
Animal Planet's official Facebook profile posted a hashtag chameleon laying eggs. Not a fucking chameleon.
I just saw an article pop up about a guy that used a sweet potato as a silencer in a murder, but it's a new potato in the picture. Just a red potato.
They couldn't even get a sweet potato.
I'm like, come on.
That's not cool.
Now, was it an assault pistol?
They all are, according to some people.
Yeah, according to Los Angeles.
You can shoot more than one bullet a day, so it's
One bullet. I did love Nathan Pilgrim's meme of it was a picture of a tuatara and it says, "I survived the dinosaur extinction. I'm not just some lizard. I'm a flipping tuatara. I deserve respect." Love tuataras. I'd love to see those in the wild. That's where you need to go. You need to go find tuataras in the wild, Max.
All right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not paying for it, but you need to go do that.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to ask on the podcast, but yeah, if you want to pay for it. No,
I got a list of stuff he needs to pay for before he can pay for your trip.
Right. Well, luckily, so this is going to sound real weird, but my dad was doing like housework for somebody who was, very ill, kind of like they were not able to get around a lot. I mean, they were only in their mid-30s, but they ended up passing away. But they had no next to kin.
In mid-30s?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mid to late 30s, but they had no next to kin, and nobody wanted anything to the family they did have was distant enough. They were like, we don't want anything. And so he got access to, like, the judge signed over everything of hers. And what I got out of it, like, I went and I helped him move it all. He gave me all of her father's ham radio equipment. And so,
cool.
as part, and I'm selling what I don't want out of that to kind of fund some other stuff. That way I can justify it. It's like, hey, this isn't work money that's supposed to pay bills that I'm spending in other places.
These dead guy's memories so I can go travel the world.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm sure he would appreciate you traveling.
Right, but I'm keeping some of it because I've got like I said, I got that herping truck video. So when I was in Arizona and somebody got bit by a rattlesnake and there was no cell service, having a good ham radio would have been helpful. So I got licensed and we'll have better communication out in the middle of nowhere.
That's cool.
So,
you just talking to truckers
so
now?
Is there like a test that you take or?
Yeah,
you gotta say
just regular. Like,
you gotta say niner.
Truckers don't use ham radio. That's CB.
Yeah, that's CB
right.
radios. That's a different. I wasn't going to call them out.
That's right. Ham radios are the lonely guys sitting in their house just talking to people across the state.
Well,
or in space.
Who are also lonely.
Yeah,
back when that was a novelty, and now we can just Zoom call and see them.
Just FaceTime on my phone and hey, look, I can see you.
Yeah, until you're in the middle of Arizona, and you're like, that guy got bit.
Sucks for that guy. Moving on. Survival of the smartest.
And you know why they say niner, right?
Because it's fun.
No, because
it's fun.
Because of the Germans. 9 means 0. So they say 9.
9 means
no.
I heard Hitler yell that over and over.
I had an aunt growing up. Really? It was a great aunt, and was
she that great? Was she really?
She was not, and she hated me.
I probably would have liked her.
No, you wouldn't have, because she was the most obnoxious Alabama fan known on the face of this earth.
That's just known as an Alabama fan.
She had dachshunds, and she only spoke to them in German. And so when we would go to Anniston to visit, she would speak to us, and like when we were in trouble, in German. So we learned real quick when she was yelling at us what was happening, and we heard no a lot.
Like, look, bitch, I'm no Hitler youth. I don't know what you're saying. We were not
allowed to touch things in her house. It's
I saw it.
James, you're a teacher. You know there's other Germans other than Hitler, right?
No, there's one. There's Hitler. He sucked. Actually, he wasn't even German.
I almost sent this one to you because it was hilarious and you would have laughed. It was it's that guy Justin Danger Nunley that does the listen. Did you know and he does some other things, and it's like a video. He's like stitched it or whatever the word is that you use on that, and it's like a guy holding up a girl, and she's in a wedding dress, and he's in a tuxedo, and it's like best thing I ever did was marrying my ex stepdad. And then he goes, I only have 2 words for that. And then he like changes in and it says roll tide.
Oh my Lord.
That's fitting.
Yeah.
So on a Facebook group yesterday, I apparently posted an unpopular opinion on someone's post.
Isn't that what you normally do?
Yeah, probably. Well, they were bad mouthing someone in the hobby that I respect very much what they did. They apparently, I don't know what they're
Terry.
Yeah. Their issue was that he doesn't use new taxonomy and stuff and all, but at the same time, taxonomy is all fucking made up anyways. So, I mean, they did taxonomy for rat snakes and basically said, no, they're all related. So it's all the same thing.
It's all made up and points don't matter.
So they were all pissed off about it. I'm like, do you know what he's talking about? Then shut the fuck up, move on. But I told someone, I was like, this guy's forgotten more about reptiles than you're ever going to learn. So maybe don't come on here trying to act like he's a fucking nobody and they didn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Right.
Because it's someone in the hobby who has done a lot. And they were like, well, he's stolen a lot of animals out of the wild. Yeah, that's how we got animals in the pet trade. That's kind of how that works. They went out and they collected them. And he was part of that generation that went out and collected them. So yeah, he did that. So you're going to stop owning reptiles? Because you'd have to. You have to stop owning reptiles if you have a problem with reptiles ever being taken out of the wild. Because I hate to break it to you, they didn't magically start growing in a plastic bin.
Yeah. I didn't just set up an aquarium in my living room one day when they're, look at this ball python.
What the fuck? How about this?
Man. Yeah.
This shit is amazing.
Because that's how I started, with an aquarium.
African giant snails are illegal. They're invasive in Florida now, but everyone asks me when I'm going to Guinea, it's like, oh, you bring in any bag? It's like, one, that's super illegal, so don't ask me. just kidding. But when you're over there, and they say when I'll be over there with ASF this summer, they said you'll be stepping through, not see one, and just your foot will slide because there's tons of them.
Crazy.
But yeah, somebody brought them over to Florida.
Yeah.
No one brings invasive. It just shows up here.
Yeah, well,
they go to Germany.
This is just a magic portal.
Yeah, and then go through that tunnel.
But I saw that post and I couldn't help. I was fairly nice about how I responded to it. I was just like, look, unpopular opinion. I think what he's done for the hobby is and for everything is more than what y'all have. I'm like, at least out of everyone calling him names, I'm like, I know who he is. I didn't know a single one of them.
Right. So the person who commented under. That directly commented to you.
Yeah.
She's actually one of the most knowledgeable snake ID people that I know.
Really?
She's a good friend of mine.
But
I completely agree with what you're saying. He actually recently quit being the admin of one of the largest snake ID groups because he said, I'm just tired of arguing with people.
Yeah. And
actually quit the group, and the admins all got together and got him to come back. Because he is a wealth of information.
Yeah, especially for snakes in the South.
People don't like it because his delivery is direct and he's unbending.
Yeah. He's his biggest fan. That's the best way I've heard it put. Is that he's his own biggest fan.
Yeah. But I mean, he didn't get there through the way that other people have got. He doesn't do sensationalism and make up shit.
Right.
And there's tons of people in this hobby who have gotten a lot of clout and are looked at on a higher pedestal, who simply got there by saying how great they were and making up shit and doing the most extreme things. He actually went out and did stuff.
Don't get me started.
as someone who loves Louisiana pine snakes, this man is one of the ones that bred them and got them going and is a huge part of that. So much so that there's an entire line of them named after him.
What were we talking about?
We're not saying
the same. But
okay, never mind.
But because I don't want anybody's bad mouth. But so I respect.
Why controversy creates cash? Don't you want engagement on this video?
No, not that kind.
You can be famous or infamous, so you still getting attention, right?
Right. I mean, he's a little of both.
But he also makes really cool knives.
Yep.
But so I saw that. It's a hobby where newer people come in, and it's much easier to bash the older generation because they don't do the things the same way. and don't get me wrong, I fully agree that in the hobby you should definitely evolve with the hobby. Things do change, but also when it comes, like I said, to taxonomy, it's a. Here's the one that always got me was when they redid the green tree pythons, and they basically said they're the same. They're kind of the same, but the difference in their DNA was like 15%, and I'm like, the difference in our DNA and a chimpanzee is like less than 1, and we're not the fucking same.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not sure it's a little iffy. And then
I mean, it's a lot of these people also don't read. You know, have you ever read a herpetology book from the 80s?
Yeah,
How do they catch desert lizards? You know, the collared lizards. They would put a piece of cork in a pipe and blow it at them and knock them out. Yeah.
Or marshmallows. I have seen them use marshmallows for catching like 5-line racers and all. You put
because you're not catching them by hand.
No, you do high pressured marshmallow. Like you use an air cannon and you shoot marshmallows at them and it stuns them.
For you to be able to go pick them up.
And then you can pick them up.
Now they use the little pit traps. Those work pretty well.
Yeah, the marshmallows caught them pretty well.
Much more humane. Definitely.
Hey, they caught them with the marshmallows. I remember my professor in college going, "Yeah, we used to catch them with marshmallows." I was like, "That's fine. It's fucking hilarious."
Oh, did you like hold it out and let them try and
No, just shot them at high speed.
Now I'm looking up how to make a pneumatic marshmallow gun. Because I just want to sit behind my table at a herb show and shoot
marshmallows at people.
Just fucking
snipe marshmallows.
Yep.
Do a shotgun version that does the big marshmallow, and then a sniper version that does the little marshmallows.
So
did you know marshmallows have killed twice as many people annually as venomous snakes in North America?
I believe it.
Don't add to that number.
I stoned someone in high school.
Whoa,
with
wait!
Marshmallows.
You got stoned in high
It was
school?
beautiful.
I did.
No, I had to do a project on the lottery.
42.
Yeah. I had to do a project on the story, The Lottery. Are you familiar with that story?
Is that a book?
It's a short story.
Is it a book?
Okay, well, anyways, basically every year the town holds a lottery, and whoever draws the paper with the dot on it
Dies.
gets stoned to death by the rest of the town. And so we were supposed to do a presentation. And I'm like, all right, cool. We're totally going to do this. It was our gifted English class. So I had the wooden.
Katie was one of them gifted.
I had one of the.
That was the nice way of saying they were special.
We so I had a wooden box that had the papers in it, and everybody got to draw papers. And turns out my arch nemesis drew the one that we got to stone.
Who the fuck is an arch nemesis in high
plan that we were arch enemies from the time that we were in kindergarten all the way through high school. Anyways, I did not plan for him to draw the card to get stoned, but he did, and it was a beautiful day. But I had the giant marshmallows, and that's what I passed out because obviously you can't throw rocks at people.
Who says?
So we threw like 3 giant bags
you
of
know what you could have
marshmallows
done?
at him.
You could have put rocks inside the marshmallows.
It was fabulous. It was the highlight of my day. But we were
like
at Walmart
some
tonight.
Asshole kids doing snowballs.
Yeah.
Yes. They have marshmallows that are like the size of your hand now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, I mean, and when I look at traveling, I've got to, speaking of like stoning, like I've got to like watch out for, different things like that. Because if you're accused of witchcraft, like there's planking, which is where they tape your arms down and they just hit you with 2x4s on both sides. That's a big cartel thing.
That sounds like something we should do at the next herb show.
Yeah. So like the craziest thing I've seen is somebody's hands were tied up and a guy got a weed whacker and was whipping him with a weed whacker because he had stolen from him.
But what if that guy found that as a turn on and he's just sitting there moaning as he do it? Would that make them stop or keep going?
Yes.
So anyways, that was what I saw recently on Facebook that I was just like, oh well. But look, the Reddies have finished looking at shit.
Fecals. Yes, John Feely. Yes, the kids prior to the lottery happening, all the little kids, because they thought it was so fun, they would go and gather all the rocks and they would make this huge pile.
That's not a huge stretch from dystopian. That's not a huge stretch from actual humanity. If we normalized throwing rocks at people until they died, it would not take long before a generation goes, oh yeah, it's the old day when we get to throw rocks.
I mean, look at the rattlesnake roundup and what they do with kids.
So it's been 20 years. It's been almost 20 years since I read the story. But if I remember correctly, like once your family, it was similar to the Hunger Games. Like once your family had a tribute to the lottery, then like the rest of your family that was surviving was basically taken care of.
Do you feel like
If I remember correctly.
you know how some families have like that cousin, everybody's like, we fucking hate that cousin. You think when it comes around, they're like, oh God, I hope it's him. Because if it's him, we're done with him and we get taken care of.
And if
Or
you're
are you
not the
trying to
one,
inherit
like if you're not
something?
part of the group that hates a cousin, you're the cousin.
You're the
You're
cousin.
the
Max is like, everyone in my family, they're all wonderful.
See, I told Brooke the same thing. It's like, look, you might think I'm weird, or might think
I don't
XYZ
think
about
it.
me, but you meet my family, and yeah, it completely changes people's perspective. You're like, holy shit, you're the normal one.
So Robert's in my family. They're the normal ones.
Mm-hmm.
That says a lot. They're the normal. I've met Katie's family, and I'm still waiting to meet
There's
the
not
normal
a
one.
I
damn
don't know
normal
that I'd call
person in my
Sam.
family.
I don't think I'd call Sam.
I was going to
I mean,
say, I don't think
I've got
Sam's
a-
normal.
I've got a brother that was born with 6 fingers on each hand.
That's actually a fairly common thing because it's
Mm-hmm.
a dominant trait.
dominant, yeah. Well, this
Polydactyl.
one, I think it was because of heroin is why this happened.
Oh,
But-
okay then.
Were they functioning fingers or were they just not
It was
they
an
cut off?
incubation issue.
I know they cut it off, but I don't know. I don't know if they were
You
functioning.
got incubated at too high of a temperature, so it's not genetic. It was just an incubation issue.
What is he, a leopard gecko?
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's also why it's a male because they incubate them at the right temperature.
Well, actually, higher temperatures should be females, right?
It depends on the thing. So for
Sea turtles, it's females.
and then for alligators and crocodiles, it's the other. One of them is the other way around.
Yeah.
So
Which for sea turtles, considering we're trying to keep them alive, it's good that I guess it's good that more are females, but it's like they don't have as many surviving breeding males.
yeah, that was an issue that they're running into. Is the global warming is throwing off the sex numbers. So unlike some species who can with Komodo dragons, they can go through parthenogenesis to produce more of one gender in hopes of trying to produce more babies.
Mhm.
So find that out when you're getting eaten by that Komodo dragon later on.
Oh yeah, I'll be like, wow, this is interesting.
When you're halfway down the stomach, oh, did you know this thing has parthenogenesis?
I got a 360 camera. I'll just stuff it down his face. Which this thing has both gotten me in a lot of trouble and saved me from a lot of trouble, because rather than a whole camera rig setup, it's just stick this thing, don't even have to aim it, and you can get some pretty interesting shots. So I'm excited about that.
Just attached to your head, so when you get eaten head first by that Komodo dragon, you already let me down by the bear.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Cocaine Bear, has that come out yet? That came out, right?
Excuse me.
Uh,
No, it comes out
I think it's-
tomorrow.
Is it
Or
tomorrow?
Friday?
Robert, when's it come out?
Cocaine Bear came out last Thursday.
Did
That's
it really? Oh, just kidding.
Have you watched it yet? Or is it in theaters?
No, it's in theaters.
That is not one that I thought would have gone to theaters first.
Oh, I want to go.
I
see
should
it.
travel and go see the actual Cocaine Bear. They have it taxidermied in, I think, a Bass Pro Shop
Just-
somewhere.
Did you see that they're making Meth Gator?
No.
What?
They're making the people that did Sharknado are making Meth Gator.
I've got a meth gator.
Yeah,
That is true.
you do.
That is true. Hit them up. They may need a stand-in, so you can go ahead and get your Cayman a job.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm running out of stuff.
Yeah,
This week I was
Ready to go home.
not prepared. I did not ask a question.
You've been a little under the weather.
I felt like poo. I blame Max for some reason.
Oh yeah, I blame me too. Well, I've got a question for you.
Ooh.
How often do you go herping?
Not nearly.
Not
as much
nearly
as they
enough.
should.
We should go more.
Okay, well, what sorts of things do you consider when you're going out herping? Depending on your trips, like what do you bring with you? Like how do you not bring
Flights.
too much?
You've never done anything other than like local stuff, though, have you?
No, I do want to go. I want to go out West Texas for.
You
like,
want to go on
days.
like a trip.
Yes.
We're
Oh,
going.
you got to pass the Ravline. You're stuck with me.
Max, James has never seen an Atrox in the wild.
Never.
Really?
Yeah.
Never.
Oh, yeah. No, come here. I'll show you tons.
So
I-
until you under a house.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No. So I've got dens mapped out from a pretty wide area, all the way from San Angelo to I want to say Andrews, Texas, and it's just like if I'm in a certain area along that route, then yeah, I can find Atrox easy.
I want to bring in our new guest that just joined. If it's not the shit twins themselves, it's the Reddies. They're done playing with poop.
Yay!
And their camera's bouncing around.
muted.
And they're muted, so they can't talk to us right now. Why are they muted? Can't hear. I'm gonna
Unmute them.
I didn't mute them. They muted themselves.
Oh,
And now they're gone. Oh no! Oh, they're back. They're back.
It said their mic wasn't connected. That's funny.
There they are. Oh wow, there's a delay. There is a delay.
That is what you sound like, James.
Yeah, I know. I edit this. I sound amazing. It is. Maybe. Are they ready? Are y'all there? Can you hear us?
All right,
Yes.
we're there.
We can
Okay. Okay. So this is the first time we've had you on since the theft.
Yeah.
Why do you say it like that?
It was the theft.
It's an event.
Yeah.
Have you made changes to your setup, or have you figured out ways to try and prevent this in the future? Because people still suck no matter what.
It's a temporary fix. It'll work, but it
It's a
doesn't
gun.
work the
It's a
best.
gun. Tell everybody it's a gun.
Oh,
It's an electric fence.
Yeah,
shock
it's
collars.
basically just going to be like a 1/8-inch strap that goes around the front of the cages that I got to get behind the cages and undo to be able to get to inside the cages.
So I thought what you should do is take you a strip of metal, put it on a hinge, and put it at the top, and it just flops down over the doors. And so it's just one thing you got to lift, and then you can open the doors. And then when you're not, you flop it down and you lock it, and the doors can't open.
Yeah.
And that would be an easy fix. It would open. Obviously, you could open all doors at the same time. But if you're opening one, you're right there, and you should be able to see it. You're good. But it seems like an easy fix to add a little hinge piece of metal that will flop down and just cover the doors so they can't pull open.
Yeah. I think-
Yeah, because it's these cages right here.
Yeah.
So
But
Yeah.
people suck.
Gonna have to figure out something though. That's
It's
still
crazy.
irritated about it.
Well, at College Station, let's look at it, man. I bet I bet I can fabricate something that'll work really well for you.
I mean, if you want something,
Well, we're already going to be talking about it, so
and if you want something that's really over the top and probably could be done way more simple, your dad's going to be there too. So Sam's really
That
great.
sounds
at
like my
that.
father-in-law.
My dad
How
is
is the most difficult way to do this?
it's probably true.
Darren Watson says you need a marshmallow gun.
Everyone needs. That's what you do. Someone walks up, you just high pressure marshmallows at them.
Oh my lord.
And if they steal and you shoot the ones at them that you stuck needles in.
Yeah.
Okay, so we went from rocks to needles. Like,
Get a bug of salt and start shooting people in the eyes.
You do like smallpox blankets.
Small.
jeez.
Oh man, now we're just really fucking with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to my dad is actually looking forward to meeting y'all because he's listened to y'all on here and he's looking for. He's not getting a chameleon because but he is looking forward to seeing them and talking to y'all.
hey,
But-
I told you, everybody is a potential customer. Everybody.
Not him. I can promise you that. Not him.
I'm surprised he still has the dog, to be honest.
I'm surprised he likes the dog. To be honest.
Well, we treat everybody as one way.
Oh, Max, you're back. Welcome, Max. You were missed. No. So what have y'all had going on lately over at the Reddy's household besides looking at shit underneath a microscope?
Floating fecals.
Yeah, bee looking around bee pollen and a fecal float is a trick.
Yeah.
But
So did y'all get some wild caught stuff in? Is that why you're doing fecal floats, or is it
no, just routines. We
really?
we just check the weight on the animal. I mean it's an everyday occurrence. We go through the cycle of all the animals we have, and after that we start back over.
Yeah. Whoever decides to give us a nice good poop one day, well, you're getting a fecal today.
All right, Max, you're up next. Give him a nice good poop.
Nice good poop, and you're gonna get a fecal.
Dude, if I knew I was doing that, I would eat a bunch of corn the day before, some hot peppers.
Well, that's what we're saying. We notice a lot of bee pollen, and then bug parts, and you have to look a lot of stuff through to be able to find anything in a chameleon.
If you find bug parts in my poop, let me know, and
Yeah.
I'll go see a proctologist.
So we just read an article in class that talks about how bugs are beneficial to people's diet and how so many people around the world eat bugs.
Yeah.
And so the kids had to write an argumentative essay on whether or not people should eat bugs. And some of the points in the article were very interesting because it talked about how, there's a large percentage, I forget what the number was in the article, but there's a large percentage of our diet that's already made up of bugs.
Because of chocolate.
and things that you're already consuming and eating. It's a great source of protein. People in countries that don't have the farmland for large livestock that you would, like cattle and things like that you would raise, they're able to harvest bugs.
Well, they make cricket flour.
But like the whole article, it was funny because I had a few kids that were like, okay, so am I saying that I think I should eat bugs on the regular, or that I am okay with people? I'm like, no, do you think people should
I
eat
definitely
bugs?
think other people should eat bugs.
And that's what they said. They were like, well, if I don't have to do it, then I'm totally fine with it. And I'll argue that side. I'm like, you don't have to do it. Argue how you want it. I'm just happy you're writing.
As kids, has anybody eaten a worm as a kid?
No.
I never did eat a worm.
I ate one at a pep rally my senior year. A bunch of us football players ate them at a pep rally.
Okay, so when I was 10, I ate like 5 worms, like that I found.
Just because?
I was 10, I don't know. And I told Brooke about it. I was like, wait, you never ate a worm as a kid? And
No.
I don't know. I lived out in the country. There was a worm, and my brother was like, here, eat this. And he was allergic, so I did it.
Country too, but I ate dog treats and dog.
I was going to say, my sister got her first tooth on a dog biscuit. But
yeah, I tried dog biscuits.
Yeah.
As a kid.
Yeah, I've never. Now, as an adult, I voluntarily ate bugs like at events, like Bug Day, and I have a little button that says I ate a bug at Bug Day. The Insectarium in New Orleans, they had a cafe where you could go try all
So we're
kinds of
bringing
different
these
foods.
to. We went to bring these to a show before. We're going to bring these to Brian. These are bacon and cheese crickets and sour cream and onion crickets, and we're going to see who can get to eat them. It won't be me. I can guarantee it won't be me because I've never been one to eat cricket shit. But we found them at a candy store, and you're like, yeah, let's get
I had
these.
chocolate chip cookies with crickets in it.
No, I'm good.
And I had Rice Krispie treats that had mealworms. And there was something else I forget.
I mean, I'll eat
like-
a lot of stuff with bacon, but I'm
like-
not eating bacon and cheese crickets.
Do y'all remember several years ago, everybody said that McDonald's hamburgers were made out of superworms?
I do remember
I missed
that.
that one.
I do remember that one.
Okay, now, have you ever smelled superworms?
Yes.
Like large quantity?
Yes.
And
Are
then
you about to
don't-
ruin McDonald's?
Don't taste that when you eat it, because I taste superworms every time I eat McDonald's.
Oh.
Every time. And I'm like, okay, I bet this is real, because how come I can taste superworms?
Yeah. It's kind of like Jack in the Box with kangaroo meat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it was,
I missed that one too.
at one point, it was like the McNugget, the chicken McNuggets are made out of this pink sludge, which
Fine.
was not
Whatever.
Not
It's
true.
delicious. I don't give a shit.
I know. Well, there was a kid in class today. We were talking about hot dogs, and like I was like, I don't eat hot dogs anymore. Now that I know what they're made out of, I was like, I can watch them make a hot dog, the shit fall out of the machine, scoop it back up, put it back in the machine. I'll still eat the hot dog while watching that happen. I know what's in it, and I love the way it tastes.
But you won't eat a cricket?
No.
I know, right?
Like, so, I mean, so here's the thing is because I was vegan for like 2.5 years, and so I know
Weirdo.
what's true and what's not true with the McDonald's thing. You know, in 2008, McDonald's had an interview where they said we're at 80% slop right now, which if you've worked the industry, you know, slop is everything that's not good, and they just basically do what they do with hot dogs.
I
And
disagree.
he goes, in 5 years, we're trying to be at 100% slop. Well, that was in 2008. So,
Yeah.
I can tell you right now that their chicken is not the same as when I was a kid because it's edible now.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Chicken nuggets as a kid, I remember the nightmare of biting into a piece that had gristle.
Yep.
And then like trying not to vomit. That was why as a kid I enjoyed going to Burger King more for chicken nuggets because they were all white meat. And McDonald's was like, no, we're not even all meat. But their chicken nuggets now are all white meat. You don't bite into them and get gristly parts.
Superworms?
Huh?
I don't know.
I went past the chicken farm in California though, and let me tell you, like I've been past beef farms, I've been past pig farms, but the worst smelling thing in California, you know,
Yeah, the
more than
people.
some of the homeless people,
Oh.
was that chicken farm. I was gagging, like you wouldn't want to talk because you could taste it.
It's the
But
urea.
chicken farms are rough. Yeah, there was a.
They had a bunch in Alabama.
Growing up, we used to go to Delaware for the summers, and there was tons of chicken farms when you get up in those areas, and so we always knew driving past it was horrible driving.
And
past.
and you see houses there. It's like people live here.
Yeah,
How do you
There's-
not smell it all the time?
How do you?
They go.
There's no getting used
yeah,
to that.
nose blind to it. Yeah,
But people used to say that about like paper mills. Like you don't smell it anymore. And I'm like, I'm sorry, there's no way that you are never not going to smell a paper mill.
My God, Max, stop that dog.
I mean, we just sent ours out, so our dog she realized Robert was here, and she was sitting at the gate being a little whiny baby.
Robert, have you figured out how to make a marshmallow
Robert's
gun
her
yet?
favorite person.
Oh yeah, I got it down.
Okay, good. We're gonna. You gonna start selling marshmallow guns at shows? There's a moneymaker right there.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
probably would be, but I have to sell no marshmallows because.
No, but you sell them as a herping tool.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a herping tool for catching lizards. If you're a lizard, if you have a fast lizard at the house that gets out and you need to be able to catch it, marshmallow gun.
Yeah.
Stun it with a marshmallow.
Stun it with a marshmallow. It's 4 out of 5 vets approve stunning lizard with marshmallows.
Yeah, I'm down with it.
I saw a thing the other day where someone's like, I'm a dentist. I went to school with other dentists. I know tons of dentists. Not a single one of us has asked if we approve toothpaste.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like they called one dentist. Hey, do you approve this toothpaste? Okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna say that's.
Or there's like one dentist out there that they pay.
Yeah.
That's like the lobbyists pay to approve toothpaste.
I approve your toothpaste.
Yep. And then they're like, well, the odds would be if he does, that means 1 out of 10. I mean, 9 out of 10. Okay, we'll just go with that.
Yeah, we'll do that. So I say that I'm sure there's a vet that says that that's an approved method of hitting lizards, marshmallow guns. So we'll just print that right on the side of it, and that'll be our new thing. We'll sell it right next to.
We can shoot it with the people who stop and ask us what we're doing.
Oh, anyways, what's y'all's next show you're doing? Is it Bryan College Station?
Yep, it's Bryan College Station.
Bringing tons of lizards.
Yeah, we're gonna bring some. We're running actually a little bit low on our older chameleons.
Well, I mean, actually.
Yeah.
If you would just sell eggs, damn it.
No.
I love how quick and
Just sell-
assertive they were.
Yeah, that is a hard no.
We are doing nice pairings though, so we're getting some nice eggs right now. We have almost 300 eggs in the incubator right now. So
Nice.
we got some that are getting close to hatching, and that some just got laid. So
I'm all for getting laid.
yeah,
Eggs, right? We're talking about eggs. Eggs.
You better be.
Just make sure that's where we're.
It's a school night. Sorry, man.
Eggs have been.
yeah.
We're talking about eggs, Katie. What are you talking
Sure.
about?
Today is
It's
my
okay.
10-year anniversary with Rachel.
Well,
Is it
there
really?
you go. We need to get you home then.
Yeah, right.
This is the most action he's gonna get.
I know what I was doing 10 years ago tonight, but
Oh, how time slows down.
yeah.
So I was going somewhere with something, and then started
Zach Brown band that night at the rodeo.
brown chicken, brown cow. What was I gonna? I was gonna
12
ask.
years ago, we were getting ready to have a baby and didn't even realize we were going to be getting ready to have a baby.
Oh, I wasn't.
I was not ready.
I was not getting ready to have a baby. I did not have a baby.
We were still supposed to have 2 weeks.
Wait, people have babies?
They lay eggs.
My
and-
child will be 12 on Saturday.
Well, how are you going to top last birthday?
We're not.
not.
Instead, I've rented a room at a game cafe
Yeah.
place for 2 hours, and they're going to do like mini tournaments.
Last year you got Hogwarts. This
Yeah.
year you get Hogwarts
You
Legacy.
get video games. She actually won't get that until April 4th. My brother is very angry about that. He bought it for her for Christmas and was like, yeah, when it ships, you'll get it. Well, then they decided that PlayStation 5 users would get it for a month before PlayStation 4 users. And so a month ago,
Just
he's
get
like,
the newer stuff.
well, a month ago, he was like, I'm going to mail her a new console. I was like, you are absolutely not. She will wait a month and she will be fine.
Could have mailed me the new console.
No. He was so mad. I think he just wants somebody to talk to the game about. Like, I think he needs somebody to talk about it with. And so I think that's why he got it for her.
Kept
but
hoping through all this yammering, I'd remember what I wanted to say, but
nope.
so we're talking about eggs from chameleons, and I feel like it was somewhere in there.
The video? Did they watch the video about the chameleon giving birth?
Yeah, they saw that.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a dwarf species of chameleon that was laying the egg. Those are really cool species.
Just dropping little gooey babies all over the place.
Yeah, I'd like to work with them, but
I was gonna ask, do all of your chameleons lay eggs?
All
all
panthers.
lay eggs that we have right now.
Okay.
Because
Yep.
that one's a montane species, right?
I want
No.
pinks we were talking about.
Oh, that is
That's
pretty.
cool looking.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna hold on. Wait for it. Everybody can see it. There it is. That is cool.
That is neat. That's like, that reminds me of the corn snake that you have, where you're never gonna get a good shot of
all the
those
pinks.
colors.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted. Take it to College Station.
God, I wish I could remember what it was. I don't remember what it was. We started talking about.
Max, I do want to get you to take some photos of some of my acrylic enclosures at College Station.
Okay.
Because I'll have the laser cut ones there. So
Fancy.
yeah.
I'll bring my key and just scratch all of them. I'm just kidding.
What a dick. That's fine. And then you can buy them. You break it, you buy it. Or you'll get shot with a marshmallow gun.
Just make sure.
Did you just tell me to put it in your mouth? What?
$20. $20. Actually, no, it's not. $20 is like $15 now. Inflation, you know.
Yeah, I'll say.
What did Lee? Did Lee get something else? Okay.
No,
I
he
thought-
just put it
I
up.
thought he just wandered back with something else.
I just remember the last conversation we had. I wanted to show y'all the hot pinks that they showed whenever
So
they
hot.
were gravid.
Oh, I know. I was gonna say I'm looking forward to seeing Amanda's new stickers. Her larger chameleon stickers now.
I got super excited at school today. One of my kids had his water bottle on his desk, which I normally don't allow because they
fall off.
clink them and they fall. But there was a super cool chameleon sticker on it. I was like, hey, I know where you got that sticker. I know
was
those
it-
people. And it was one of her stickers. They went to the Conroe show and he was like, yeah. He was like, these people are so cool. And was I was like, I know them.
Y'all are
Yeah.
famous.
It was so
Hey,
cool.
Bring me a sticker. I've got. So.
You got some space on there for some stickers.
Yeah,
Not like
I do.
Robert's computer. Robert's computer.
Robert's had to take stickers
He's had to
off.
take stickers off to
Put
replace
stickers
stickers.
on.
Just did that
Yeah.
the other day with CR Serpents.
See, I'm not allowed to take off stickers, but they can wear off during travels. That's kind of the idea. Is that if you have bad quality stickers, they don't make it around the world.
I've seen
They'll
Robert
fall
go.
off at the first
Robert's like, these people don't still breed stuff, or I don't really like them that much. And put somebody else's sticker on.
Just cover that up.
But
It's kind of like business cards at a restaurant. You know, just which one? Take off the realtor's business card because
I try to take less business cards now. I realize I, like in the past, would just take so many, and then my wallet would be like super thick. And like 2 years later, I'm like, I don't even remember getting this card.
what
I
you
don't even know why I
do
have it.
is you write their information on the back or where you met them, and then you put them all on a photo book.
Well, they're all reptile related, but then I'm like, I don't actually plan on getting a reptile from this person. It was just I got their card.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I don't do it. I just stay away from cards.
That's why we do QR codes now.
Yeah.
Just, that way also they don't look up, a name for something and then it takes them to somebody else or, it automatically that is our stuff. So
You know what you do? Get you a stamp built that is a QR code and just stamp their arms when they walk by.
I do have a stamp. I made it.
Do you really?
That's a QR code?
Yeah. It's on the
Does-
back of let me see.
Does it work? Like, can you put it on a person? Would it work if you put it on a person?
Bring me my stamp. I'll have Sydney bring it to me.
They smear too quick. They would have to scan it pretty quickly after because the ink on skin. So if I scan it myself,
Like right on a kid's forehead when they go by.
Yeah. Oh, there's the baby.
Yep. He's leaving this weekend.
Oh wow! Look at that. I'm gonna pull that up.
Oh,
That is amazing. The blues. I mean, nobody watching this doesn't see it, but it is the greens and blues in this thing. What kind was the one that was stolen?
Simbaba.
What color
So
is that one?
it's the yellow and the green that
Gotcha.
the U-bar pattern on it. This is the Bonjas. I can get Mufasa and show y'all him, so you'll kind of know what a Simbaba. I know what the localities are, and everybody else bases it off color. They're like, I want a blue one. Okay, a blue one.
Well, I love that whenever you take these chameleons out, whenever I see you holding them, they don't look stressed because they're an animal that's very easy to tell when they're stressed. And I've seen a lot of them. Being at a lot of reptile shows, you see a lot of stressed chameleons.
Yeah.
And if you know what to look for, I mean, it's obvious.
when scale mommies take them around.
Yes.
Well, I've decided that whenever we do finally get one, like years down the road, Amanda keeps up with what days they hatch. I'm totally getting one that hatches on my birthday. I'm just going to throw that out there.
There we go.
Oh,
It
damn.
happened.
Holy shit.
Wow.
All right. So if you're listening to this on recording, you've got to go back and get towards the the 1 hour and 45-minute mark and look at the video of this chameleon. The colors on this thing are insane. It is red and yellow and green.
And see, if he'll get mad enough, he'll change. Let me have that.
So that's not mad. That's just
No, it's just hanging out in the cage.
damn.
Well, he bred today, so his eyes are sexy. But
He's a little like, hey,
Oh, there goes
hey,
his mouth. I see
hey.
his mouth opening up. And now
Yeah, but that's not
his
really
legs are-
it's not really a I'm stressed out. It's a hey, you're
No,
in my
it's a
space and
dominance
I'm
thing.
in breeding mode.
yeah,
oh, look at him.
this is I want to kill you. And the
Look at that. Like the yellows are so bright. And the striping on the tail, that banding on the tail looks amazing.
Did you see how his yellows just got speckles in them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just boom, and now they're gone.
Look, there it is again.
Yep.
I will fuck you up. That's what he's saying with his
Yeah.
the little one's like,
Like,
I didn't do
what
shit,
did I
man.
do?
Quit putting me in his face, man.
It's not my
Yeah, the
fault.
baby-
Why is this tree keep trying to put me over there?
So,
All right, so the big one there, he's what type?
Simbaba,
Simbaba.
Yeah.
And then the other one is
and then Banja.
Mbanja.
Yeah, it's just localities, towns in Madagascar, regional areas where the color and the pattern changes.
Okay, I'm getting closer to wanting a chameleon now.
Yes.
But you'd have to help take care of it,
Okay.
which is said okay about everything else, but then I end up taking care of it.
I know. I took him
We'll
away.
figure it out.
But that is
See,
I want to
This is what I do. Make him calm down. I'm like, no, put the coat away. See, I took him.
Hilarious.
Huh. I
because
know.
like with so many other lizards, you have to wait for them to fire up, and then sometimes they're not fired up and they look like dog shit. And Lee's like, no, we just took this out of the cage, and this looks
Yeah.
like this.
And now he's calming down, so he'll start to turn back to green.
See some of the greens coming back now.
So do you notice different behaviors between males and females? Like when it's like a singular pet situation?
Yeah, I would notice differences because we have females that act, different than males. And then, each male has their own personality. Like I wouldn't be able to do this immediately after him seeing a male to Alamo, which is the wild caught one. I wouldn't be able to immediately be stroking his mouth like this because he's wild caught. So he has a little bit more of an attitude.
But do you feel that females or males make a better pet or
So
they-
the better pets because, males, you're going to get all this color. Females
And
want
size too.
gotcha?
females what you just saw, the pink one, that's
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's the most color they get.
Yeah, and they're
Okay.
more timid.
They're a little harder to
They're a
take
little
care of.
shyer.
Gotcha.
They shy away from being handled more than a male does.
Gotcha. All
Right.
right, so
Or they're more dominant. Look at me.
Yeah. And they're a little harder to take care of because even if you don't breed them, they're going to have eggs.
I was just about to ask, are they gonna like the bearded dragon would lay eggs and
now I need a guy that can
God.
make me a chameleon cage.
Jennifer, he's not listening to you.
Not at all.
Here's that stamp.
I thought y'all were still talking about.
Oh,
Oh, look.
cute.
So see,
Look at that.
made that.
How fun.
There's
That's
a
cool.
stamp maker that I literally made one that has a chameleon. Too. So,
That's cool. All right,
I
so
might
Robert,
need you to make me one because as soon as I had my stamp, I used it at like one show, and then I changed my channel name.
No. And these are so cool because literally you just put ink on top of there and you let it sit for like 30 minutes or an hour, and then you just keep stamping all the excess ink off, and then it just stays like that.
So you made that yourself?
Yeah. So you know how you have your silhouette?
Yeah.
Okay, well, silhouette makes a silhouette mint, and that is this. It's a,
Oh. Look at that.
I know.
all right, Robert, it's time for you to get into the chameleon making cage making business. Get with Lee, and we're going to design the best chameleon cage, and then I'm going to test it out when I get a chameleon from
I mean,
Lee.
if
Yeah.
Lee and Amanda want to design one, we'll build the shit out of it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, as many people that come up to us for this cage, people with what?
I love how that cage looks.
Guy with the eyelash vipers.
Yeah,
Around them.
the snakes and different things. So this may be something that needs to be built here because these
Yeah.
are China, and we can't get them now because of them balloon stuff. So
So your cage maker was trying to spy on the United States?
yeah, that's
Yes.
happening. Yeah.
Fucking balloons from the cage makers in China,
Yeah.
You know, you could buy one of those balloons for real cheap.
and then we can spy on them.
Shut up, Max. We don't need the
We don't need the government shutting us down.
our podcast down.
Hey, Secret Service already told me I wouldn't get in trouble. So
Yeah, I remember.
But
These pages are wanted by lots of people, and we can't tell people where to get them from or anything because now, you know, they're impossible to find.
well, I mean, and China doesn't exactly respect our copyright laws and our trademarks.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
so what I'm hearing is Robert can make cages, and then you can sell them with a chameleon whenever you sell chameleons, and it's
Yeah.
sell it together.
Well, honestly, people that didn't even have chameleons wanted them more. You know, people with other species of reptiles.
Oh, like those blue beauty anoles.
This size.
Because this is not, we couldn't put the big ones in here.
Right.
So.
Yeah, those are good crested gecko size cages.
Mhm.
Those are like they're 7.5 wide, 16 deep, and 20 tall.
Yeah, I mean, Lee and I already talked. I'm going to go look at them anyway. Yeah.
Sweet.
Stop talking about all his business
I
on
know.
air, James.
But
God.
I'm trying to
I'm
figure out
about
a way.
to fall asleep. I'm
we
not
get
trying to be
clear.
rude, but it's
All
late
right.
and I busted my ass today. I'm tired.
You hurt your ass like the
No,
little
I
kid.
did fall down today. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm trying to.
oh,
I'm
you
not
got a
trying.
cramp in your ass.
Go home. It's your anniversary. She'll rub it out. No,
No, she won't.
you can rub it out.
Well, you
Your
can't
ass.
leave. Joe's going to give you a bag of cookies to take home.
I'm going to go home and watch
They're for
an
Lily.
episode of New Amsterdam and then go to bed.
Thank y'all for coming on, and thanks to Sean
Yeah, thank
for coming on earlier. But I'm looking forward to seeing all of y'all in Bryan College Station. That's
Yeah.
the next show for us, and I haven't seen everybody since Conroe. And I was at Conroe, and I still don't feel like I walked around that much
I
at
did.
Conroe.
There was stuff we missed that we literally watched somebody's YouTube video and we're like, oh, we didn't know that was there.
That happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
And I literally go to every show. And there's sometimes I'm like, I haven't seen so and so in forever. And Rich will be like, they were there this weekend.
I was so
Yeah,
pissed
well.
at the NARBC we went to last year. So I ended up watching like Dave Kaufman's video. I was like, here's an albino Brazilian rainbow boa. What the fuck? How did I miss that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you walk around with a camera and people just go, "Hey, come look at this." That's all you
Yeah,
gotta do.
but then I got to look like you, Max. And
No, just don't grow.
Max,
beard.
you need one of those over the shoulder rigs that they had at the XFL games.
Oh yeah, no,
Stabilizer.
Again, pay for it and we'll
Yeah.
talk.
I don't even want to know
I
what
can get
that
some.
thing costs.
I can get some PVC. We'll
The
build you something.
gimbal alone was probably $20,000.
Yeah.
Oh, easy.
Nah,
'Cause those guys were running with those, and
Yeah.
the camera's just.
Oh,
steady.
and it's extremely stable.
I'll get a weightlifter's belt, some PVC, and I can make one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's not how that works.
It'll work.
I
It'll
mean,
work
my
just fine.
gimbal is decent, and it's only like, I think it was like $550.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right. So thanks y'all for popping in here.
Yep.
Thanks everybody for listening. Again, if you need LED UVB bulbs for us, if you can get a chameleon from the Reddies and you want to get a light bulb, check out VivTech products and get 15% off your bulb for code Gumbo22. Again, thanks to everybody for using that code. That is going to buy Robert some new headphones.
Next
Because
week,
right now I can only hear out of one ear.
next week, we are not on Tuesday. We
We're
don't know
on
when
Wed-
we will be next week.
It'll probably be Wednesday, but our kid has a science fair on Tuesday.
A district level science.
And then
fair
the week after that, which is spring break, we're going to release the interviews from Bryan College Station so we can take a week off.
for Robert's birthday.
Mhm.
What's she doing for the science fair?
She
did a
raised
project on
isopods.
isopods.
Nice.
Yep.
So
So anyways, we're out. We'll be back next week. I will try to get a guest next week. Again, I didn't do it this week. I just kind of found people and it was fun. And I
it was
enjoyed
fun.
this.
We enjoyed it.
So I may do this more often. I may have like open call nights and just see like if we can get, we
Yeah.
get an open call nights.
Chris Eaton did it first.
Kinda. But his don't get recorded. Ours is recorded and everybody can see it. So we're better, Chris Eaton.
Whatever.
So good night to everybody. Thank y'all. Hang out for a second. Everybody else, see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Did he tell us to hang out for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it says live still, but they left.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
normally they don't kick themselves out.
So we can say whatever we want